Okay, hi guys. Let's see how we can solve this problem now using the VLOOKUP. The VLOOKUP uses a scale or an array that you have given it with a key, like a dictionary in Python, where there is a key, for example, MS IE OA. And it checks if this is that, it will put market stall. And IE, it will put import/export, and OA, sorry, I put a question mark here, /export other activities. Enter. So how the VLOOKUP works, let's just, we can change the color of this. Make them, I can put them red, no problem. So how the VLOOKUP works, it writes equals, you start by equals, then you write VLOOKUP. It's first look at the value. We want to see if this value, comma, is in this table, where once it checks, it will check this one as the key and this one as the values to give, comma. How many columns are there? There are 2 columns, so we put 2 columns, comma. And if we can see here, if it's true, approximate match. If it's false, exact match. And because these are not numbers we are looking up, we want it to be an exact match, so we write false. Close the bracket, press enter, and it works perfectly. Oh, sorry, I've made a mistake here. Because we want these ones to change from D4 to move to D5 to D6 to D7, but we don't want this table to move downwards, because the problem here is the table is moving downwards. So when we click here, you can see the table is moving downwards to J5 to K7, and you can see the table has moved downwards. So what to do? We're writing this formula to make it not move. When you're writing the formula, you press Alt F4. Sorry, not Alt F4. It's F4, but it's a function key, so you press FN F4. It changes that to and puts $sign so that it remains in that position, the same as that. If yours is not working, you can just come and put $signs before J and before 4 and before K and before 6 here for that. So when you press enter, double click here, it works perfectly. You can see from the formula here, they are not changing. And that's the purpose of the $sign. Once you double click any of this here, you can see it remains on this specific table, and it works perfectly. But when we change this to any value, it changes to NA, but we don't want it to be that. We don't want to be it, we want it to say does not exist. And since the way to do it perfectly so that it works is because once you change this, this is an error message. You can see this here. It's an error message that is generated by Excel. So the best thing to use here, we can use the if error formula equals to if error. So it will check if it's an error. Sorry, it will check if it's an error. It gives one value. If it's not, it uses the formula. So you can check it out by using equals if error. This is the best way to work with this. Double click this. Then I think before we do that, I think we can just make it a little bit easier for us. This is what it was. You copy this formula that was. Then you can start by equals if error. The first value here is a VLOOKUP. So if it's not an error, it gives that value, and if it's an error, you want it to say does not exist. close the bracket. I think there are 2, enter. Sorry. Yeah. We'll click here and it works perfectly. If we change this to an S, it does not exist. An S, any other value does not exist. And that's how you solve this using the VLOOKUP. The nested if can be used and also VLOOKUP. Thank you very much. Hope it was informative. Peace. See you in the next video.